Fa ingresso il Presidente della...
The President of the Italian Republic. We will now start the presentation of the Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center to be created in Carini, in the province of Palermo. We will now show you a presentation video for the center. Develop innovative solutions and new treatments, leverage research findings, contribute to the growth of southern Italy. These are the goals we pursue with commitment and passion. We focus our scientific activity on the needs of patients, on breeding new talents, and offering employment opportunities, hence encouraging the best Italian scientists to return to our home country, as well as attracting foreign assets. We contribute to the dissemination of scientific knowledge, the creation of intellectual property, and development of competitive projects to attract both public and private funds. We act locally, and this is why we are building the Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center in Carini, within the metropolitan area of Palermo. It will offer great opportunities for work and economic development. Next to the Ri.MED Center, a brand new Ri.MED hospital will be established, thus integrating research and care to streamline the transfer of scientific findings to patients. Strategic participation with UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh and the NRC, and the thousands of the Ri.MED centers in continuous development. Together, we will enrich the skills and technological platform of our research teams, who will endeavor to create new customized medications, vaccines, cellular therapies, and engineered organs to treat end-stage organ failures, infectious diseases, cancers, and age-related disorders. Thanks to the investment in the BRBC and a new Ri.MED hospital in Carini, the Italian government and the region of Sicily have given concrete expression to an unprecedented development policy in the field of life science. A state-of-the-art cluster uniting research and advanced therapy to the benefit of public health. Shaping future at the core of the Mediterranean area.
The
floor is now to the President of the Senate, Maria Elisabetta Alberti Casellati. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. President of the Republic, Vice Minister Sileri, President Musumeci, all Parliament members, authorities, hosts, and guests. We are really happy that the Senate can today host the presentation of the Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center of the Ri.MED Foundation to be built in Carini. It is a very delicate phase of restart after months of pandemic. This project identifies a very important development growth project to develop not just the region of Sicily, but the entire country. I wish to welcome President Sergio Mattarella. Your presence here today makes this day ever more prestigious. Thank the Presidency of the Italian Council and the President of the Ri.MED Foundation, Councillor Paolo Aquilanti, for the work he has conducted. It is a true good thing to see how national institutions pair together with local institutions. As the President of the region of Sicily will testify, Nello Musumeci, whom I welcome. There is a word that ideally summarizes the entire meaning and importance of this project. That is the word excellence. Excellence in research, in the ability to transfer on an industrial plan all scientific findings, excellence in a development model that aims at promoting the Italian territory. What makes the Ri.MED Foundation so special is the wish to promote the link between science, technological application, and right to healthcare. This, first of all, means to focus all projects the human being, quality of life, and his health. Patients are the main goal and the last goal of research. There are too many grey areas in the clinical practice that today do not allow to offer concrete answers to severe diseases that sometimes cannot even be treated. And it is within these areas that research must restart, putting in synergies physicians, technicians, engineers, so as to have their experience, scientific findings and know-how can be translated into an improvement of the standard of life of our patients and also of the healthcare system in all phases. The Ri.MED main goal is founded on the idea that any scientific hypothesis cannot be closed in a laboratory, but must be transformed in technological innovations, models and industrial proposals that can produce welfare and economic success. Italy has centers of very high quality research center, both private and public. But what is missing is to transform it into industrial power, exploiting their findings. We have a very important quantitative and qualitatively scientific production, but not enough spin-off. It cannot be compared to the most advanced countries when we speak about the technological transfer. Understanding our weaknesses in order to promote a new biomedical innovation culture able to create a sound alliance between research, industry and healthcare is one of the new goals that the Ri.MED Foundation must aim to. The Foundation is already working towards this achievement as the important funds have been obtained for the first innovation technology project, such as the one for the creation of cardiac valve. I truly believe that this is the path we should walk on. This means shaping a future and the possibility to have careers for researchers, physicians and scientists moved by passion, imaginations and creativity. In Carini, they will be able to find a new home for their ideas and their talents. We have a very important human capital that often in Italy has to leave or work in severe conditions without having the chance to express themselves at their best. Thanks to the resources that are not adequately exploited, that project as Ri.MED can allow us to change this. It is clear what we have to do: involve both national resources, universities, privates, in a new model for development that would have the best Italian synergies in place, integrating them in collaboration with the most advanced research center at the university level, just like the Pittsburgh University, a crucial feature of the effort that is launched in Carini, that is not just an Italian one, but a European one, just in line with the work for the 2022 work plan of the European Commission. Research and innovation will play a key role to relaunch the European Union and its economic recovery on an international level. A virtuous model, the one we will have in Carini, that understands what the pandemic has told us, that is to say, the value of science in preserving our lives and quality of lives. A community effort to keep Europe at its best in the knowledge and know-how. Finally, we are acting in line with our recovery plan. We can only have a renaissance if we start to work from universities and from young people. This research allows us to understand the value that it will have for Sicily, a modern and functional architecture perfectly integrated in the environment. It can be a perfect example of a region able to gamble on their own vision, exploiting what they actually have. The virtuous synergy we can find in Carini between science, local authorities and societies represents a treasure, not just on biomedical knowledge. It is a team effort, and it's what we are most proud of. We need private and public strategies to develop our enterprises on the long term. We must think that we can have an international aim, but we need to be linked to the locals, to the local territory. This is the model we wish to inherit from the Ri.MED project, and our wish is that the 25 actors of the Carini Center can truly become a laboratory for the entire Italy of a new method, of a vision, of a way to build welfare that from biomedical science and the Sicilian experience can also be exported in many other areas in Italy. Thank you.
Prende ora la parola.
And now we leave the floor to the Vice President of Ri.MED Foundation, Bruno Gridelli.
Buonasera.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. President of the Republic, President of the Senate, authorities, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center, of which today we celebrate the construction, has its roots in a partnership that started more than 25 years ago when a group of physicians from Palermo, with the support of the national and regional government, started the creation of Ri.MED. Since then, Sicily had a high incidence of diseases, liver diseases, and were forced to transfer to northern Italy or to other countries abroad patients who required a transplant. UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, had the most vast experience in the world in this field, and therefore UPMC was selected as an international partner to create Ri.MED. The partnership between the region of Sicily and UPMC rapidly turned Ri.MED into an organ transplant center and a center for highly specialized therapies, among the best in the world, serving not just Sicilian patients, but also patients coming from other Italian regions and from abroad. And most of them are children. The clinical results and research results then brought to the acknowledgement on behalf of the Ministry of Health, the Italian Ministry of Health, as an IRCCS, a government-approved research center. Ri.MED then represented the inspiration and model to create the Ri.MED Foundation, to further widen the scope of Ri.MED's biomedical research and mission. The research witnessed a revolution in the last decades with the generation of new technologies that allow to understand the structure of the biological molecules, how they work, and the fact that they can be used for diagnostic and interventional purposes. The COVID-19 pandemic has clearly demonstrated how scientific discoveries linked to the functioning of these biological molecules can rapidly translate discoveries into patient care products of high impact on the health of mankind. These technologies are moving more and more the daily clinical practice to biomedical research. The study of the patient history, environmental factors, the genetic heritage, and its hereditary or congenital alterations, and finally those caused by the environment, can establish and bring closer more and more hospitals with research laboratories. So the physical and functional integration between patients, healthcare providers, and researchers is the winning model to accelerate and make more efficient the transfer of scientific discoveries to patient care. So the BRBC, or the Foundation, was conceived according to this very model, an ongoing cycle of treatment, research, production of new drugs, vaccines, and biomedical devices. And it's precisely the understanding by regional and national institutions of how much this cycle is important. This brought to the project, to the idea of building in the same campus of the BRBC, the new Ri.MED hospital with 250 beds, technology advanced, energy sustainable, and designed by architect Renzo Piano, focused on the needs of the patients, of the families, and of the staff. Finally, we are aware of the menace of the emergency of new environmental pathogens, or even created by mankind for terroristic acts, is still present, and today, even more than in the past. Next to the BRBC and next to Ri.MED 2, we will build an industrial scale production plant for vaccines and biological products. This innovational center of patient care, research and production, based on an international collaboration, has the potential to represent an extraordinary resource for the southern Italy and for the entire country. It will be, in fact, a point of attraction of many brilliant researchers and healthcare providers, both Italian and foreigners. It will bring to the discovery of new therapies and will be the driving force for a social and economic development in a territory that has great needs, but also great potentiality. We hope and we ask that the institutional support that has brought us to where we are today continue and increase in the future, allowing the BRBC, the new Ri.MED, and the new vaccine and drug production plant to pursue their activity, contributing to the progress of our country. Thank you very much.
Viene ora proiettato.
And now we will hear Renzo Piano in a pre-recorded video message.
Caro Presidente e caro amico.
Dear President, dear friend, President of the Senate, authorities, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I apologize for the fact that I can't be there with you. I'm really sorry, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity, at least with this message, because I was waiting for this project for years, for 20 years. I've done a lot in the meantime, of course. I've worked on other hospitals too. We just finished the one for Gino Strada and emergency in Africa, and we are currently working on a great hospital in Paris. But this hospital is special. This is a hospital of Mediterranean excellence. It's a European hospital. in the middle of the Mediterranean. It's important because, first of all, it's in Italy. Italy is my country, and it's in Sicily, a region that I love, but also because this hospital perfectly translates a new philosophy which is necessary at this point. The hospitals must be places of medical excellence, but also of human excellence. There's passion in hospitals. Passion cannot lack in hospitals. The 20th century, with the so-called mono-block, has slightly shifted our attention away from this perspective. We must go back. So this hospital is surrounded by nature. We have a land sloping down towards the sea in Carini. It's a beautiful land, and this allows us to build a hospital as if it were stratified in an area that it is immersed in the ground, but it's not underground, because the sloping down land allows us to make it breathe. And we'll have operating rooms, pharmacy, all the activities, diagnostics. Obviously, all these activities must be compact, but this block literally floats. The inpatient rooms are on 3 stories above the ground, because the first floor is an area of connection and exchange with people, with the community, with the territory. And these patient rooms are on 3 floors, and they are immersed in a green area, because we're going to create a large forest. We're going to plant 1,800 trees. It's a Mediterranean maquis. It's not simple decorum. It's not just this. Nature is not decorum. It's a metaphor for healing. And it's important that patients look out of their window in their rooms and see the leaves on the trees. So this human dimension, this dimension of human excellence, must be brought into the hospitals. It's not just to do with nature, but also has to do with light. We all know that light is one of the most important elements in architecture, and it will be in this project. Particularly, we're in Sicily, we're in Palermo, and Palermo has a wonderful light. From an energy point of view, it's very important to say that this hospital will have very low energy consumption levels. It's going to be in Sicily. Sicily has a wonderful sun, and I'm going to complete this building with a solar collector, actually 2 large solar collectors, which will allow us to have and create the necessary energy. So I'm really looking forward to when the construction yard will start working, and the time is not far away. We're working on the executive projects in an excellent collaboration with UPMC, but also, of course, with Ri.MED in Palermo and with all the authorities. So this is indeed a great collaboration. So all the best for this event, and again, I apologize for not being there. But I'm there with you, with my heart. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Prende ora la parola.
It is now the floor to the President of the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, Leslie Davis.
Buonasera, Mr. President of the Republic, Honorable President of the Senate, President Musumeci, authorities, guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct privilege to be here today in this grand and beautiful hall of the Senate before the President of the Italian Republic on behalf of UPMC. Today, I am so honored to meet you as the newly appointed President and Chief Executive Officer of UPMC, where I oversee more than 40 hospitals in Pennsylvania, New York, and Maryland, and in Italy. More than 70 cancer centers, including those in Rome and the region of Campania, a 4 million member health insurance plan, and 93,000 dedicated employees across the globe. In my previous role as president of UPMC's Health Services Division, I admired what UPMC has accomplished in the past 25 years in close partnership with the Italian health system in the beautiful city of Palermo. Our long and productive collaboration with Italy began, as you heard a few minutes ago, with the birth of the renowned transplant center called Ri.MED, and that was in 1997, in the region of Sicily. This was followed by the establishment of the Ri.MED Foundation in 2006, with the presidency of the Italian Council of Ministers, the National Research Council, and the region of Sicily. Most recently, our role in the birth of Ri.MED 2, and we just heard from the world-famous Renzo Piano. Under the guidance of UPMC's international president, Chuck Bagosta, who is here with us today, we are working to ensure that all Italian patients are able to have their care close to home. Mr. President, today I reinforce the commitment that UPMC and the University of Pittsburgh will enthusiastically continue our partnership with the Italian government and with the region of Sicily. With its new translational research initiatives, the new Ri.MED, Ri.MED, and UPMC collaboration in Sicily will help us to manage future pandemics, transforming the region into an international hub for biomedical research, innovative patient care, and creating extraordinary opportunities for economic and social development in southern Italy. So once again, I thank you, Mr. President, and all of the national and regional authorities who have always offered their strong support for our ambitious collaboration, which shares life-saving medicine and knowledge transfer from the United States to Italy and from Italy to the United States. Before I close, there are 3 people that I would wish to thank and congratulate because they have been central in the progress and the realization of these important projects. The chairman of the Ri.MED Foundation, Dr. Paolo Equilanti, the president of Sicily, the Honorable Nello Messamucci, and the Chancellor of Health, the Honorable Ruggero Razza. Thank you. Without your commitment and your continued support, the BRBC and the project of Ri.MED 2 would not be where it is today. May God bless this Italian-American healthcare venture, and I say grazie.
We will now see a pre-registered video of the Italian ambassador in Washington, Mariangela Zappia. Mr. President of the Republic, President of the Senate, President of the Ri.MED Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, I am sincerely grateful to be able to participate to the presentation of the Ri.MED BRBC, for which I thank President Paolo Aquilanti. It is a pivotal project demonstrating the relevance of relationships between Italy and the United States for a key sector such as life science. The collaboration between our country and the UPMC is a jewel in the crown, which has produced major results thanks to the creation of Ri.MED, a highly specialty center, an excellent example of public-private partnership and international know-how sharing. Based on the foregoing, in 2017, the State Councillor Paolo Aquilanti launched a new initiative and took the leading role for the growth of this project up to the creation of the center presented today. Thank you very much. I would like to reflect together on the role covered by science and technology for consolidating our strategic partnership with the United States. There are at least 2 main features characterizing the beginning of the new millennium, but with a strong economic, social, and cultural impact. our societies are ever more interconnected and have to face issues of growing complexity, such as the COVID pandemic and the climate crisis. At the same time, we are witnessing an exponential technological transition, the result of at least four factors: access to unprecedented computational resources thanks to cloud computing and quantum computing in the future, a vast amount of data gathered by connected smart devices, thanks to big data, Internet of Things and 5G technology, rapid evolution of advanced data analysis, thanks to machine learning and deep learning, and the development of AI systems. It's a journey holding many uncertainties, and as massively started by the Nobel Prize Giorgio Parisi before our Parliament, science must be our leading light, but governments are responsible for taking appropriate action, matching the epochal changes ahead. But with challenges come opportunities, especially for countries like Italy and the United States, with a long-standing collaboration in the field of science and technologies, as also proven by the bilateral agreement in force since 1988. The agreement covers the main agency of research bodies and universities, but also the areas of major interest for both countries. In the three-year period 2019-29, the focus has been put on health science, physics and astrophysics, environmental science, and information and communication technologies. Within the scope of life science, the agreement covered the most important Italian institution, with a crucial role led by the Ri.MED Foundation, and focuses on two relevant issues: precision medicine in oncology and related biotechnology, and innovative technologies for healthy aging. There are numerous standing collaborations. In 2019, only the Italian universities and research activities have signed over 25 framework agreements with US partners. On top of this, we have to add the research agreement between the Institute for Treatment and Research, IRCS, and US institutions. The bilateral agreement will be renewed next year and will take into account the crucial role of science and technology in our society. To break new ground, we need a multidisciplinary approach, including different scientific areas, critical mass and sciences. We also need the full involvement of the main industrial actors, research centers, and policy makers. As of today, the international collaboration were mainly based on relation between different research groups or single researchers. Today, they are structured based on institutional agreements between universities that allow us to have critical mass. For the same reason, many countries, among which Italy, are promoting the creation of focused networks on emerging technologies, and the BRBC is one example in partnership with the University of Pittsburgh. Other interdisciplinary examples are the National Research Center, the Human Technopole, the Italian Institute of Technology, the planned AI Italian Institute, technological clusters, and competence centers in the 4.0 industry plan. In the States, we have harder examples, such as the AI National Research Centers promoted by the National Science Foundation on issues varying from science security to advanced biologies and involving the main US universities. In this connection, in line with the priorities set by the Italian National Programme for Research, the new bilateral agreement will promote the creation of networks and clusters and hopefully join institutes focusing on emerging scientific and technologies issues, with the participations of universities, research centers, industrial and institutional partners from both countries. The sphere of reference will focus on life science and health technologies, AI, advanced manufacturing, quantum technologies, and energy transition. Science and technology, especially in this period of rapid transition, have always a more cross-sectional impact, investing not only the economic and commercial ambit, but also politics. Let's think about the competition for technological supremacies, defense, social and cultural sphere, and training and professional requalification. A solid partnership between Italy and the United States based on shared democratic values and transparency and integrity principle in the research will be crucial to ensure future generation and an inclusive and sustainable future. The BRBC of the Ri.MED Foundation that is created today in Sicily, with its international dimension, will have a valuable contribution in strengthening the cooperation between Italy and the United States and our scientific and technological partnership. Thank you and keep up with the good work.
Prende ora la parola.
Thank you. We now leave the floor to the President of the region of Sicily, Sebastiano Musumeci. Mr. President of the Republic, President of the Senate, Undersecretary, authorities, guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am particularly happy today to present, together with the Ri.MED Foundation, of which the region of Sicily is partner since 2006, the important projects that the Sicilian health system is ready to implement to complete the projects planned and shared over the last years by the regional government that I have the honor to preside over in the territory of the province of Palermo. First of all, it's a response of absolute clarity to a part of Sicily, Western Sicily, that for too long has asked for attention from the regional administration for structural interventions able to provide a patient care response of excellence, to reduce the so-called passive mobility of patients towards other health systems, and also to attract the expertise of professionals of undisputable scientific profile. The Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center and the ISMET II hospitals will be built on the same site, as has been said by other speakers today, with the clear idea of creating the first biomedical hub in southern Italy, putting together research and immediate application in the clinical field. More in detail, ISMET II will be built on an area which was donated to the foundation, close to the area where already the BRBC is under construction, in an absolutely strategic position, close to the motorway, close to the railway station, and close to the international Palermo airport. It is not up to me today to acknowledge and underline the extraordinary importance of the BRBC. It's going to be a building of 30,000 square meters on an area of approximately 7 hectares that the foundation will build in the area of the municipality of Carini by the end of 2023, with the idea and the goal of dealing with end-stage organ failure, infection diseases, oncology, aging, and neurosciences. What I wish instead to illustrate is the contribution with the financial resources earmarked for construction of hospital facilities under Article 20 of Law 67 of 1988. The region of Sicily has decided to use these funds for ISMET II, a new 250-bed hospital, physically and functionally integrated with the BRBC. In order to accelerate its realization, UPMC paid for and donated to ISMET the project of the hospital, as we just heard, designed by Senator and architect Renzo Piano, who has already ended the preliminary project and will deliver the final project by March 6 of next year. This is, of course, an extremely significant commitment that, together with the Regional Council for Healthcare, Mr. Razza, we finalized last year, 2020, during the pandemic emergency. After a technical meeting with the Ministry of Health, the region of Sicily, UPMC, and Ri.MED, that made possible the inclusion of the new hospital in the regional health system. Mr. President, Renzo Piano said that, quote, "Hospitals are places of medical excellence, which today must respond even better to the need for humanity." This is coming from all over the world and has been demonstrated, and still is demonstrated, by the pandemic during this year and a half. So the hospital is a place where you can find a sense to everything. And together with medical efficiency, there's another dimension made of hope, aspiration, and beauty. A hospital must treat all this, and unquote, this is based on such exquisite words that the project must create a garden, a sort of Mediterranean forest that gradually will fill the surrounding area around the hospital. So the goal is to help create a serene and tranquil environment for patients, families, hospital staff, where nature plays an important therapeutic role. The hospital will be immersed in a park with shielded areas for relax for patients, dedicated areas for staff, areas for meditation, and special areas dedicated to rehabilitation therapies. The new hospital is designed to respond in an optimal way to the needs, the clinical needs of future pandemics, not just for what concerns clinical and researchers, skills, technology, integration with the BRBC, but also for its unique structural features of this solution, of this project, with flexible, graded, and easily reconvertible solutions where, for example, all patients have single rooms. So there are all single patients' room, in order to minimize, even beyond a possible pandemic, the risks and occasion of hospital-acquired infections spreading. Mr. President, may I just offer just a few figures. Ri.MED 2 was designed to be a center of excellence and high specialization, able to attract patients not just from the region of Sicily, but also from other Italian regions and other European and African countries. What we hope, and that Ri.MED 2 will allow to reduce the passive mobility of the region of Sicily by over 40 million euros a year, which is roughly 34% of the total regional mobility, increasing the mobility from other countries for a value of 3 million euros a year. But it's also a moral issue. The goal is to consolidate, thanks to Ri.MED, the national and international positioning accomplished by Sicily in the field of transplants and high specialty therapies. Ri.MED 2 would also have a record, not just in terms of medical innovation, but also in terms of its timeline of realization, 12 months, going from the initial idea, the initial project, to the actual executive project. And we hope to start work just starting from next year. So finally, the Ri.MED Ri.MED cluster with over 500 researchers and 250-bed hospital. Let me underline this, one of the most important biomedical integrated research centers in Italy, but also in an international context. It's a project which is strategic for size and research lines, representing an extraordinary opportunity of development, economical and social, for southern Italy and for the entire country. Finally, Mr. President, a long time ago with Ri.MED, we won the challenge that provided Sicily with the international level transplant center in addition to other hospitals of excellence. That first collaboration created Ri.MED, as we all know, which is an example of successful collaboration between public and private, transforming patient care and the concept of patient care in Sicily. Today, we shall continue to pursue a strategy of collaboration with UPMC, and this will bring to a new and ambitious project, a hospital able to support and serve not just the regions of southern Italy, but also Northern Africa. And we all know how much they need this. It's been a long time that we have been convinced that the future of Sicily should be searched in a central Mediterranean position, not only geographic, but also economic and cultural position. We are looking towards a healthcare that is competitive and able to satisfy the needs of millions of citizens who today are forced to go to northern Italy for their healthcare needs. With the new hospital, we are looking towards increasing the goals and defining a new model of hospital, modern and efficient, with the help of the best technology and with an international network of skills. All along this process today, I can ensure with absolute certainty that the region's support is and will continue to be convinced and constant. Thank you very much.
The floor is now to the President of the National Research Council, Maria Chiara Carrozzo. Mr. President, Madam President, Mr. President Musumeci, Vice President, dear friends, colleagues, Madam President Leslie Davis, great pleasure meeting you, colleagues, scientific researchers that I'm sure are listening. It is with great pleasure and pride that I take part to this presentation of the Biomedical Research and Biotechnology Center of the Ri.MED Foundation. A pleasure and pride linked to my institutional role, since I am the President of the National Research Council, a founding member of the Ri.MED Foundation. A role resulting in the collaboration for research activity, enhancement of findings and technological transfer. A further reason of interest and satisfaction is linked to my personal research activity that I always conducted in robotics, biomechatronics and neurorobotics, sectors and fields of study sharing strong affinity and opportunities for integration for what is carried out in an excellent sector of biomedical and technology advancement studies, such as the Ri.MED Foundation. The particular partnership at the basis of the foundation follows the logic of a multi-level institutional collaboration, including regional, national and international actors with the high-tech industry world, a logic representing the context and futures for the development of initiative of high scientific profile. The national government, the region of Sicily, also think of a power of action given by the special act governing it, the greatest National Research Center of which I am president, an important U.S. university leader in the biomedical research, such as the University of Pittsburgh, a great healthcare company just like UPMC, which operates in 3 countries and multiple sectors from research, training, care and assistance. Thanks to the authorities of all these actors and the method of collaboration that they have and represent within the Ri.MED Foundation, they have strong affinities with the logics included in the missions and modus operandi of the National Research Council. Though there are some difference in competences and proportion, when realizing its own program of research follows the same criteria for the collaboration with the institution, relationship with the industry, and technological transfer and internationalization that are expressed by the Ri.MED Foundation. The NRC can offer model and practices that are well established and measurable thanks to concrete achievements and documented as well as recognized by the whole scientific community. The geographical location of the Ri.MED Foundation recalls also the strong commitment of the NRC to invest in the research in southern Italy, with a strong link with the goals of the recovery plan based on the reduction of gaps between citizens and primarily oriented in research, innovation, inclusion and healthcare. All features leading to investing in attracting young researchers, relationship with enterprises and support to the territory. On this basis, the BRBC in Carini will certainly be a virtuous example of private-public partnership and a management model granting communication between scientific institutions, big pharma and biotechnology companies, attracting investors and funds, and overcoming any differences between the different phases of the research, outcome industrialization and results and relationship with markets. Finally, I would like to devote a moment to remind why the Ri.MED primary mission, that is to say, the translational research for biomedical findings in new treatments for patients, hence to meet the needs of those who suffer. It is a noble experience destined to change healthcare public policies for good and build new welfare models. It is also strongly oriented to ensure to all constitutional rights to health care and access to care. We shall put our utmost effort in emerging rights, ensuring everyone's rights, social justice and growth in community. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we leave the floor to the President of the Ri.MED Foundation, Mr. Paolo Aquilanti. Mr. President of the Republic, Madam President of the Senate, authorities, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have listened to and we have witnessed how close to Palermo, in the area of Carini, there's a new model. A new model is set. The reality is transformed in harmony with nature to obtain benefits and beauty. It's a change generated by the intelligence, the will and technology of ancient knowledge of craftsmen. In Carini, we will have a research center amongst the most important in Europe, the result of the projection into the future of people who learned and visualized the value and the commitments of those who conceived, supported and executed this project. In a time which is now close, after a long wait, which is finally filled by the promise of a tangible promise of a busy construction yard made of people, researchers, technicians, administrations and services will share their skills in an area of laboratories, sophisticated instruments, supporting systems, auditoriums, guest quarters and offices. Investments and source of work of professional skills for young talents, a workshop of new products and of unexplored methods to treat diseases, to soothe pain, and to give hope to the sick, the weak, the people who suffer diseases which were once relentless and of unknown origin, but today, even more in the future, these diseases will be studied and fought and defeated by science, intelligence and human skills, together with a new hospital for high specialty therapy, which will be the result of an extraordinary experience of more than 20 years ago. Many qualified staff working together, joining research and treatment. This is only one of the possible solutions. It's concrete, it's positive, and it's a response for southern Italy, a place longing to get back on its feet again, and ancestral issues relevant for Italy. The two players of this adventure, Ri.MED and ISMED, have both within their name the name Mediterranean. This is much more than a simple geographic position, but it's the center of civilization, languages, knowledge, and different skills seeking collaboration and exchange. Finally, we are experimenting a project of cooperation between government, local institutions, companies, internal and international skills, between Italy and the United States, between Palermo and Pittsburgh. We are proud and thankful that Sicily has decided to invest its best energies in this project. Thank you.